Welcome back to the channel, guys, and welcome to a new video from this training course series. And this time we will be deploying multiple VMs using Terraform, and we will see the different approaches for you to accomplish this. By the way, if this is the first time for you to see these videos, so let me tell you that it's part of a full training course on how to automate your vSphere operations using Terraform, right? Yeah, please find the link to the playlist down below in the description. Feel free to start the course from the beginning. All right. First things first. Before we proceed, I've decided to do something nice for you guys. Is to put all of the code from our previous lessons, and for the entire course, I will put the code in repo on GitHub, so you can reference them in case you needed to check the code and to have the code in a tangible format, so you can download it and copy and paste. But I'd prefer that you do it the hard way, so you can learn how and where to find and get the code. But it's okay. You can just find it on GitHub. I will put the link down below in the description. All right. The second thing, as usual, let's create a new file, a new directory for our new lesson, and yeah, let's call it. This is actually, yeah, let's call it 006, for example. So make a directory, let's call it 006 terraform-multi VM. Let's call it like that. And yeah, 006. We have, of course, it's a brand new directory and it's empty. And as usual, let's just copy the code from a previous lesson. For example, let's take not this one, let's take a cleaner one. This one had the output. Let me remember in a second. No, it doesn't have the output. It's fine. Yeah, we can just modify it. So I'm going to copy. You cannot duplicate the directory because it has, of course, the state file for the Terraform, so you can't do that. You can just copy, pick the files that you need to copy, not everything. Okay, so I'm copying this, and that, and the variables as well, and let's paste all of them down below here. Nice. What did I do? No, I did something wrong. No, yeah. I think I did something wrong. Yeah. All right, so let's do it once again. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, copy, open this one and paste. Yeah, all right. Okay, let's close this. And what are we going to learn in this lesson? So usually, when you deploy the VM, you have a single block of code for the virtual machine resource like this, and you make changes to it, and that's it. You deploy your VM this way. What if you have multiple VMs? Yeah, maybe you can just copy the entire block of code for the virtual machine and go down there here, yeah, below, and just paste it, and voila, you have block for virtual machine number 3 and the block over there for virtual machine number 2, and this is how you can do it. And it should just work. We can make a plan right now and see how this goes. But this is not the ideal way, actually. But before I say that, let's just initiate the new directory. So Terraform, as usual, Terraform init, because it's a new directory or a new repo for Terraform. Okay, it's initiated. Let's try Terraform plan. We should face few errors. I hope not. Yeah, no errors. Nice. So as you can see, it's planning to deploy 2 objects. Two VMs here, one from the block of code with the VM 03 and the other one from 02, and it will work. And these VMs, if you can see, these are identical VMs. So if you wanted to make a change to both VMs, like increase the RAM, for example, then you will need to change the parameter here and change the parameter down there for the memory, for example. I wasn't highlighting the memory, but yeah, you understand what I want to say. And this is not best practice for how to use Terraform and how to automate. Assuming that you have different, these VMs serve different purposes or must have different hardware configuration, then in that case, of course, you can duplicate the code and use a dedicated code for each virtual machine. There are other advanced Terraform ways to do this, but it's not within the scope of our call right now. But yeah, if you assuming that, or let's say that you have a project for identical VMs that all of them will be part of a cluster, so all of them will be sharing the same configuration in terms of the specs. In that case, you don't do this. You can use just a single block of code to achieve that, and we can do this together in this very episode. This is the goal of this episode. Okay, with making little changes here and a few changes to the variables file. Yeah, in that case, you can easily deploy as many VMs as you want, and just use a single clean block of code here. All right, let's make a few changes before we do the needful. I need just to clean up this one. This code from the previous lesson, and we have deployed 2 disks. We don't need 2 disks, so this is disk number 2. Let's remove this block of code and let's go to the clone details. Yeah, Linux options, let's leave this, and we need just to make a change here, and yeah, we need to use a DHCP, not a static IP address, so the code here should look like this. The config for the network interface, we don't need this either, so yeah, and the Linux options here, I think the indentation is not really Linux options, it should be one step backwards like that. Yeah, let's give it a try and run Terraform plan once again. Terraform plan. We have an error. Let's quickly check this. Yeah, it's from the output file. If you remember, we got this in the outputs file where we can print the IP address of the VM on the in the terminal, and here it's pointing to something that does not exist anymore. So I'm just fine-tuning the code here before we get started. Let's run this again and see if it faces any errors. I hope not. Yeah, no errors this time, and it's going to deploy 1 VM. Cool. Okay, again, this code deploys 1 VM. Let's deploy multiple VMs. So what should we do here? We need to do a couple of changes here. So we will be using for each statement within this code. So yeah, for each actually with underscore, each like this, and it should be to list, and here we should reference the list. I will be making a list. I might need also to cheat and grab the code from somewhere else, but it's fine. Yeah, let me just minimize this to focus on this directory here. Let's go to the variables and let's create a new variable VM1, VM2. Yeah, see here, this one is no longer needed, by the way. This is no longer needed because it's instructing here a default VM name, huh? So we don't need this here anymore. I will update this in a second. Let's create something called list of variables. Yeah, I need to clean up the code a bit. Okay, so, and here it's saying the RAM, the memory, yeah, which is fine. So, another variable, and this time it's multi VM name. Let's call it this. Yeah, and the type is list. A list of what? It's a list of strings. So it's a list of string. And let's provide the default values for that. So let me just push this downwards. So here we can define, or we are going to define, the different virtual machine names, and based on how many values you have here, yeah, an equivalent number of VMs will be created. So if we put 3 variables here, then 3 VMs will be created. If we put 4, whatsoever, yeah, now you understand. I think you understand what I want to say. So we need to put a comma here, and let's give the VM a name first. What's the name here? We have a warning here, which is fine. I will get to that in a moment. We can't call it Terraform Course VMX, for example. So yeah, we can call it like that. So let's call it Terraform Terraform dash course dash VM 01. And let's define a new one here below. You can put them, by the way, on the same line, but I'd rather to have my code organized. Let's copy this. 02, another comma, and another one. Let's call this 03, and that's it. Right. So let's keep it like that, and this is fine. Let's correct or update the value here. So what's the name of the VM now? We need to refer to the new variable under the variables file, which is multi-VM. Looked it up. Cool. Multi-VM. Why is it still detecting an error here? But yeah, because we need to mention something here actually. We need to refer to the list, which is under the var dot multi-VM name. Okay. Let's give it a try and try plan. If it didn't work, I will cheat and refer to my other code to check. Yeah. Terraform plan. You don't necessarily need to memorize it, but you need to know how to use it. Okay. Yeah, for each, I believe that I made a mistake here. Yeah, let's go and cheat. I'll go to my other code behind the scenes, so you don't really see this. Multi-VM, let's check this one here, and let's see how this was defined over there. Yeah, so it's to set, not to list. So it's to set, and this should be each. Yeah, this is my mistake here. So it's not the var. So the each point value. So the value of the for each here. Yeah, we need to have this from there. So okay, set and each dot value. Let's go back to my broken code. To set, and here it should be from each and the value of each. So the value of each entry, okay, mentioned in what file was it? In the variables file. Okay, so let me close this here. So no changes were made, and yeah, no, let's minimize this and let's check this one more time. This is fine. Yeah, it should be fine now. Okay, let's give it another try to plan. Let's see if we face errors, which is fine. Maybe I need to update other lines. So the line number 2, why are you mad at this? Okay. It has a for each set. Okay, yeah, which attributes must be access to a specific instance. Yeah, that's fine. We should make a change here actually. and it's yeah, let me see here. Yeah, and it's actually also proposing something, for example, to correlate which with indices, yeah, of a referring resource. I should use something different here. So this here should be with each key. Let's try this one. So each key for the for each. Okay, let's try this. So let's go to the outputs, and it should come right here. I'll close the curly, the square bracket. Did I write it correctly? Did I type it correctly? I believe so. So this is saved. Clear. Let's try it one more time and see. I still have an error, which is fine. Maybe I need to to cheat from somewhere. So it doesn't like it like this. Why not? The each object can be used only in module or resource blocks. Okay, maybe. Okay. Let's cheat once again, guys. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. I can even Google it. I don't remember this part, but it's okay. Let's go and cheat. Maybe I have it here defined. I don't even remember if it's defined here. Multi. No. I don't really have an output here for multi-dynamic. Not really. No, I don't even have it back there. All right, I had to pause the video momentarily just to look for the solution, and yeah, I figured out where my issue was, and it's very simple. By the way, just a disclaimer. The output is an optional thing unless you need it for something more sophisticated. So if you don't have the output block at all in your code, everything will work fine in a similar setup, I mean. All right. So because the reason of the issue here is that because we here have a list. So for the output also it needs to understand what a list is, and when I instruct it to do the output as is, it doesn't know here. It doesn't know which virtual machine from the new ones, yeah, should it get the or extract the output from. Okay, which one? VM 1, 2, 3. It doesn't know. So yeah, we need to correct this, or yeah, and make a change, the necessary change to the code to make that work. So I will be using also a for each statement here. Right, so I'll open square bracket, and for each, and in the each I will put anything. For I, for example, the IP address in the vSphere, virtual machine under this VM. Of course, we need to delete this here. We no longer need this. And I also don't need that. I will grab it from somewhere else. Okay. Okay, what to do? I need you to print or to fetch the data for the IP address dot guest IP addresses and close the square bracket. Let's test it like that and see if we get any errors, or should it work fine. Okay, it worked fine. So it's planning here to, yeah, let me maximize this a little bit so we can read everything. So the output thing is fixed down below, but let's read it from the beginning here. What's going to happen in this plan. So let's have a closer look. Okay, so what is Terraform going to perform for us here? It's going to create a VM called 01, as you can see, with this hardware configuration. Okay, cloning from this template. And yeah, see the hostname here, it needs also to be updated. I will make also the necessary change here. It's good to review your plan, of course, because otherwise all of these will be sharing the same exact hostname, which is not desirable, I believe. But let's continue. And the disk, and here is another machine, VM number 2, etc., etc., until the very end. And then the output here, it will return yeah, the IPs of the VMs. And by the way, you can of course put here the name of each VM to instruct the code to do this, but it's not within the scope of this course or this episode, but it's just an option, because in the end, when it prints the IP addresses, you will not know to which VM does that IP belong to. So we need for example to have the name. I don't believe it would get the name. It will just put the outputs as is, and you can, but they are in the order of the creation. So this one is for VM01, and this is for the last one, which is 03 in my case. But let's fix the host name thingy and also have another review on the code before we proceed. Yeah. So let's go to main and let's try again. Similar context, so it should also be each value. The value should be each value. Okay, everything here looks fine. Okay, but this is so the host name here, it needs definitely to be updated to be like that. Nice. Okay, and save the file and let's try the plan once again and see what happens. Great, so it's creating 3 objects, and let's check here the host name. Where was it? Under clue and host name. So here this is VM number 3, and it will be creating a host name of the VM like that. So we needed also to update the host name attribute as this. Nice. All right, it's the time now to test the code in production. Let's do Terraform apply, and let's put the auto approve, because it's just test environment. I don't care. Nothing should be changing between the plan and the apply, so I don't care. I don't need, in my scenario here, I don't need to review the output from the plan. From the apply run, but it's a good thing to do, of course, in production. Where was it? So as you can see here below, I hope that it goes as expected. It's creating the VMs. So it has created 3 VMs so far. Let's just refresh this. 3 or 4? Or 2? So it created 2, 3. Where's number 1? Okay, powered on 2 and 3. There's something here is a bit weird though. It should have created 3 VMs actually. Maybe I made a mistake. No, I don't recall making any mistakes. Insufficient disk space. Okay, insufficient disk space. All right, so maybe it's the reason here. So it has. Because I thought I made something wrong, huh? Let's go back to the code just quickly, just to be 100% sure that it's going here to add 3 VMs. All right, so it's just a problem in my lab. It's fine. This is okay. Maybe we can change just the data store for one of these machines. But it's not going anywhere because this has failed here. I think this is up and running. and what one is up and running. But which data store is it complaining about? Data stores. Oh yeah, we have a warning here. Free space is 24 gigs out of this. Okay, maybe. Yeah, but I have here number 1. No. Where are the VMs? Let's go back to the data store. Just so this is data store. Where are what VMs are there? I see also this VM. Maybe I can delete this. Let's just quickly delete this, and I hope that delete from disk. Delete. I hope I'm quick enough before it crashes here. Oh, it failed. Okay. But this is fine. Let's just, it failed to clone number 1. Yeah, because of the low disk space issue, but it's fine. It's just an operational problem here. Let's try to run the plan once again and see what it's going to, what the result is going to be. Yeah, so now it's adding number 1, and now, yeah, this is the VM, the IPs of the VMs. But yeah, this is misleading because you can't tell which is which, but it's okay here. You can enhance this output if needed, because maybe you'd need to have the output to a text file or something, so you can use it somewhere else, or a CSV file. But in my case here, I don't care. So you can map these IPs to the VMs, relevant VMs. Still error cloning. Why again? You still have a insufficient disk space on this data store. Okay. Yeah, but let me make it a bit smaller just for the sake of this video. I wasn't expecting this to happen anyway. Okay, let's just make them 2 VMs for now. 2 VMs. So let's go to the variables. No need to deploy the 3 VMs here. But yeah, at least you get the idea now, and you know how it will work. So let me remove number 3 or number 1. Doesn't matter. Let's remove number 3. Okay, and let's see how the code will say about that. So Terraform plan, please. It should delete 1 and add 1. Yeah, add 1 and delete 1. So it's going to, let's review the code here up here of the plan, so we can have a better understanding of what exactly Terraform is going to do. Yeah, the plus here means to create and the minus means to destroy. So here we say that this one will be created, which is the VM01 with all of these parameters, and yeah, and here the virtual machine 03 will be destroyed. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see what happens. So yeah, it should just be fine. Let's go to the web interface. Why do I have more errors? I guess because we need to destroy first and then create. It could be the reason here why it's not progressing. That's fine. I can destroy all. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Let's do Terraform destroy auto approve. Please destroy all. But it might not destroy 03 because it's no longer in the code here. But let's just check what it's gonna do. But at least we have a nice mix of circumstances in this video. Yeah, so you got the idea behind it, but okay, yeah. So now delete virtual machine 03. This one is completed, and initialize, initiate guest shutdown. Okay. Now you can see all of the VMs were deleted under the cluster, so no more VMs are there, and this one should succeed, huh? Yeah. So this one has succeeded here. It has completely removed everything. So let's run another plan for a new deployment. Yeah, we are almost done here. Okay, so it will be adding 2, which are the VMs 01 and 02. Great. So let's run a apply without review. It's not necessary for us to review now. Yeah, let's see what happens here, and now it's cloning the VMs. This should be thin provision, so I'm not sure why my data store is not that happy, but it doesn't matter for now. Okay, great. So the creation is done here. Let's go and track the status here. Yeah, it's still less. What does it say here? Yeah, still creating because it needs to wait for the heartbeat, let's call it, to respond back with the status. So it's still creating, yeah, 01 and 02 here, still creating. Yeah, it's still waiting for the VM to be initiated, the operating system to be customized according to our preferences. So this one is, yeah, still booting. All right. And this one also is still, let's go back to the terminal. Yeah, still waiting for the updates. Okay. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, this one is up, and yeah, within a second it should be ready. Yeah, it was even faster than I am. Here is the IP address, and here is the desired hostname. Yeah, and this is the second VM, and the same thing here. So the VM was called 02 and the hostname. Excellent. So let's go to the terminal, and it says that, yeah, the apply is complete and the IP addresses are this and that for this VM. So let's make one final thingy here. Yeah, I know we have passed the limit of 30 minutes for this video, but let's just create a little change, for example. So how much memory is assigned? 2 gigs of memory is assigned to this VM. So let's increase it to make it 4. I believe these hosts have enough memory capacity. Yeah, they do. Even if they don't, memory ballooning will help us with that. But let's make the update on the fly. No, we need the VMs, please. Yeah, so let's change the memory from 2 to 4. So let's make a change even here. Okay, so yeah, once again, it's defined under the variables file, and yeah, we need to make a change to the RAM. So now it's defined as 2 gigs. Let's make it 3 gigs, or 4 gigs. Yeah, it should be 4096, like that. Yeah. All right, save it, and because the memory hot plug under the virtual machines setup is config is set to enable, so it should not be rebooting or power cycling the VM. So Terraform plan Terraform plan. Alright, so yeah, it's making changes here to this VM and that VM, to the memory from 2 gigs to 4 gigs. Okay, so let's apply that, and before we run it, it's already set to 2 gigs, but just for assurance here, yeah, we can, as you can see, 2 gigs of memory. Let's do this, and while it's in progress, let's oh, I have a problem here. It's fine. The virtual machine configuration. Why? Yeah, I think because it needed an increment. Yeah, sometimes this happens. I'm not quite sure what the reason is, but sometimes the configuration, yes, that happens. So you can't double it, but you can. Yeah, but doubling should just work. Let's set it to 3 gigs. So it should be 3192. Is that correct? Is that correct? I'm not quite sure. Let's give it a try to run it once again and see if it accepts that or not. I still have an error. Let's see what exactly is the problem here under vSphere, but it should just work fine, by the way. Invalid virtual machine configuration. Why is that? So the VM has the memory change enabled, by the way. So we have a vSphere error here, but it's fine. Yeah, let's see. So under the memory, yeah, the hot add here is definitely enabled, and if you change it by hand, I guess it should just work. But let me see. 3 gigs. How is that exactly in megabytes? No, I should do it for me. Anyway, let's cancel this. Yeah, I don't remember. Maybe I need to on my calculator, and so 1024 times yeah, 3 should be, yeah, 3072. Let's give this a try, but at least you get the idea that it should just work this time. 3072. This is a number, so it should just work with no errors. And the apply again. It should not fail. It should not fail. Yeah, this time it didn't fail. Okay, good. So it just needed an increment of 1 gigs. Yeah, I can't believe it. But anyway, yeah. Now it worked. So now the memory is 3 gigs, 2 gigs are active, which is fine. Yeah, so now the operating system has 3 gigs available, and this change is made here. Let's check the other VM also over there. So you can very quickly make changes to VMs. Yeah, let's even change the CPU, but changing the CPU will require a reboot. I don't care, so let's reboot it, but be careful in your scenario that this will reboot the VMs, huh? Why is it not? Yeah, okay. Terraform plan once again. Yeah, now it's increasing the CPUs from 2 to 4, and let's run the apply. But now the VMs will be power cycled. Yeah, they're being, so a safe shutdown is initiated to the OS, and that should just be fine. In yeah, now it became 4, as you can see here. It's powered off, and it will power it on in a moment. Yeah, excellent. But be careful, of course, with the changes that might lead to a reboot, because it will take your entire cluster down. Huh? So you need to instruct it. You need to dig deeper into how to do this in Terraform. This is not within the scope of this video, but I was just demonstrating to you how you can easily make changes to the VMs and deploy the VMs very fast. Let's reduce the number of the VMs to just 1 VM. It's the last thing we will do in this video. So let's make it just, instead of 3 VM 1 and 2, let's remove number 1 and let's keep only number 2. So let's see, it should just work fine. Yeah, let's also wait for this to finish because it's still waiting for a report. Yeah, these are just fine, I guess. Yeah, so it should just report back and the task was completed. Let's run another plan here to reduce the number of VMs. And here it's going to destroy this VM, and that's it. Okay, then please apply. So let's track what's happening over there. So it's initiating once again a shutdown request to 01. Yes, and 01 has been deleted. So swift, very quick. Yeah, I like that. All right, yeah. So that was pretty much everything for this video, and yeah. Thank you so much for viewing, and see you soon in another episode. See ya.